Hello Dissenters, my name is Italix and I am here today back in Banished where we're going to be making some very important upgrades to the town of Boulderline. The first thing that you're seeing here is I've queued up some road destruction. We're out here by the herbalist and the gatherer and the hunting cabin, and we're going to make some upgrades to this neck of the woods, as it were. We're destroying part of this road and kind of just moving it over just a little bit. It still connects right here around these rocks. I'm not sure how they're going to walk on this road now that it's a little bit jagged, but there's a good reason behind this change. I'm going to place a couple homes out here so that some people can live and then go straight to work right next door, if that makes sense. It's just going to make things so much more efficient. In addition, we're going to create a small stockpile really close by so that we can have them deliver their materials such as lumber to this little spot, and then other people can come grab the materials from this stockpile and then take it somewhere else. It's just going to help our workers move more efficiently. And the reason I'm creating a stockpile here is because we don't really have any resources, right? Like gatherers don't use the stockpile, hunters don't, herbalists don't. I'm actually planning on making another Forester's Lodge out here, or whatever the appropriate name is. Yeah, it is Forester's Lodge. I always get the Hunting Lodge. I want to say Hunting Lodge a lot. Yes, we're going to make a Forester's Lodge across the street from the Gatherer's Hut so that we can start increasing our stored logs. That is the plan right now. And I've got enough room for a house, because the thing about making another Forester's Lodge out here is we're going to need to work on getting some more people, some more laborers, so that they can start working. Let's go ahead and just make 2 new homes over here. So it's going to take a lot of materials and resources, I am well aware. We can also create this road just a little bit extra so that it's going to be 3 wide right there. And from this point on, I can afford to start construction of the Forester's Lodge itself, but we're going to keep it on pause until we get the homes completed. So clicking on the Forester's Lodge, making sure to pause it. We'll also pause one of the homes so that they can just work on one at a time, just to make things a little bit slower, just to plan ahead a little bit. We can also go ahead and increase the length of the road just a little bit, just to make sure that it's touching off, because I like to have the roads and I like to have it where they work. So the point of this, not only is it to have the homes so that they're close to their jobs, is to increase the population, because we don't have enough people. We only have 2 laborers right now. We've got 4 assigned to foresting, so we're going to need 4 more potentially. So we got to make some more babies and get some more laborers. Did you guys just see that tree fall in the forest and no one was around to hear it except for me? Apparently when trees grow old enough, they do fall on their own. That's pretty interesting. I've sped up how fast the game clock is going in an attempt to try to see this wooden bridge get built. It needs a mere 3 more logs, and here we have it being placed down by Ariane, the 11-year-old child laborer, and here is the base of our wooden bridge, and we can marvel at all its glory when it becomes constructed with our 2 builders who are probably busy over here working on this home as well. Yes, the stone has been deposited, again in need of logs, but we're going to try to take care of that all very soon, and whoo! The ground just shifted to early spring. That's really weird on that fast of a game clock. Oh no. Apparently this wooden house is cold. We don't have any stored firewood. We are in need of more lumber as always, and that is what, like I said, we're trying to take care of in this episode. Look, the bridge. It's almost 85% complete. It stretches all the way across. You saw that bridge, Curtis, the 31-year-old fair clothing builder who is slightly unhealthy, but he just eats too many cheeseburgers on a daily basis. Here is the bridge itself. Now we can cross over to the other side. What a pleasant looking bridge this is. And we can connect the road up to it. For some reason, there's a huge gap here in the road. Hopefully, yes, we can complete the connection there, and we can make another little dirt road out on the other side. So that's good, and then we get to start construction on the trading post when I feel that we have enough workers to man it and enough resources. For now, we're just going to leave it paused, and these guys can wander around. The 0-year-old Waylandon! It's Benjamin Button! Waylandon Button! That is the biggest baby I have ever seen. The good news is, taking a look at our stats, you can see we now have 7 children, which is a direct result of these new homes that are finally being taken advantage of. You can see some of them are mostly empty. Lewell's the only person living here. He must have had a nasty relationship because he's been around for a while. He's 37. I remember seeing Lewell. He must not have ever found a girl perfect for him, but by golly, he made enough money to buy this home all for himself. Now, some of you may be wondering, Alex, why are you building a forester's lodge out here? They're going to cut down the trees, and that's going to make it difficult for people to, like the gatherer, to get some of the herbs and, not the herbs, but, you know, the different foods from this forest, because the trees are going to be cut down. You're disturbing the forest. And to some extent, you may be right. The fewer trees there are, the worse that the gatherer is going to perform. However, the forester's lodge is going to be replanting trees all the time, and as long as we have mature trees, they're going to both be able to do their tasks efficiently. So if at any time it looks like we have less trees than is necessary, we can just tell them to stop cutting them down and only plant them and let them grow back up. And we can also remove all of the rocks and iron materials from this forest, and that's going to allow the forester's lodge to plant even more trees, thereby actually increasing the rate at which people like the herbalist and the gatherer's hut are going to be able to do their tasks. Of course, we do need to add some more foresters, so we've got 4 laborers right now, so let's just take 2 of them and add them to the forester tally. I don't want to take all 4 of our spare laborers at the moment. You can see that they are already getting to work. Trees are falling down everywhere, and in addition, I do, like I said, want to collect the stone in this general area around this little base camp. Wow, that's a lot of stone. Okay, look at all that iron down there. Let's just tell them to collect all of this iron. That's so much. Let's just get a stockpile of iron, shall we? You know what? Let's just make a giant square. Okay, it's a bad idea. Let's just make a giant square. All right, our laborers are going to be busy forever because that is going to be a gigantic task, but at least it's going to give all of those people who are currently not able to work, like the woodcutter maybe, or the tailor, it's going to give them something to do, and it's going to allow this stockpile to be used. It might fill up too quickly, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So, hopefully our people are smart, and hopefully once one stockpile becomes full, they begin moving things to the other stockpile, which still has ample space. I think my favorite part about the AI is that they're smart enough to gravitate towards roads, but they don't have to follow them if there's a quicker route. It's like they know how to process which one's faster. Watch, they do a little zigzag to actually follow the road all the way down. That is awesome, because what I did not want out of this game was to be able to build these roads which make walking more efficient. Like, they do walk faster on the roads, however, slightly. I just didn't want them to just be like, yeah, I don't care if there's a road, I'm just gonna be a deer and walk this way. I love that they actually try to follow it if possible, and if they can't, then they just do like this, and they just go wherever they're trying to. Where are you going? You scaling a mountain? Is today mountain climbing day for, who is this? Javante. Oh, Javante. Hey, Javante, how's it going? Production has increased significantly since the construction of these 2 homes. You'll notice that we actually have some stored firewood right now, which is incredible. And of course, that's going to help with the second Forester's Lodge gathering wood. Whoa. Hello, snow-covered ground. There wasn't even any snow. Once we get some of these babies to grow up into adults, you see we've got 9 here, which is essentially an entire generation of babies waiting to grow up into child laborers. So let's just take a look at a couple of our laborers right now. Skylin is 47, so he's getting close to 50. 49, oh Felicity. You're constantly a laborer that I look into to check on their health and well-being. Oh, Felicity, what would be really cool is if they had some stats, like how many children they had, or what their previous jobs were, what job they were the best at, if they had some kind of, special stats or something. I don't know. So those are our 2 laborers, and probably the oldest people in the colony at the moment. We're going to try to keep an eye out for them, but if I miss their death down here, hopefully their body doesn't just lay in the middle of the street and everyone has to walk over them like RimWorld. But now that lumber has been kind of taken care of, let's go ahead and start work on the trading post. We don't necessarily have to complete it right now because it requires 82 logs. That's going to take a while, but it is going to give our people an opportunity to remove the 11 obstructions that are in the way, and we can get this kind of on the water and get a little bit of a connector to it. In fact, I'm not sure where the road is supposed to go, so it might just make it all the way around this front side, and we can make a couple homes over here on this island, and who knows what else we'll be able to squeeze into it, even another fishing post if we ever wanted to in the future. But hopefully we'll be able to use some of our excess materials like the stored tools and maybe the medicines to try to get some seeds and maybe start a farm. That would be pretty exciting. So let's set the tool limit up a little bit higher, shall we? We can use some of our excess materials. Let's set it to 75 just so that our blacksmith can start creating some more. Now that we're going to start having some stored logs, hopefully we're barely meeting demand for the amount of firewood that's necessary, so they may have to fight a little bit to try to get the resources, but we'll see. This is probably my favorite moment when building something. When it pops into its first little form. This is not even my final form, says the trading post, waiting to be constructed. Like I said, let's just start a road around this because I don't know where it's supposed to go. So I guess we'll just make it all the way around that side, I guess, and maybe just connect like that. I'm not sure if anyone even enters the building from here. I guess it wouldn't hurt. 3, 4. Oh, a house can fit right here. You can see that we actually have stored firewood. So the extra foresters have been hugely successful. We now have 100 out of the 200 fuel limit. That is great. Huge success on that front. So finally, Italics has done something right. We are kind of balancing the stored food right now, sticking around 800. So it appears that food is going to be our next concern, just making sure that we have enough of that. And to that end, we can make a few different things, ranging from orchards to farms, and that's assuming that we get some seeds for those. And we have a couple other options as well, like making another hunting cabin, perhaps, or making another fishing dock. So those are the things we have immediately available to us. So I'm going to hope that these trading items are not too expensive, and that we're going to be able to start some new food ventures in the near future. So I'm looking at the herb list, and I'm seeing 125 has been met. There's 126 stored medicines. Is there any reason not to store just a ton of medicine? Because it just seems like it's oh so easy to obtain. The only thing I can think of is if it's inside of this storage barn and you don't want it to become full. So here are the herbs, and while I wasn't paying attention, it seems that the trading post has been completed. Exciting, because it looks really cool, actually. All these storage crates and containers, and it looks like I was correct. The entryway is right here where the road is touching, so we have 3 laborers now. Our children are growing up. We have 28 adults. Amazing. So let's get at least 1 laborer working on the trading post right now. We'll assign more in the future as needed. So let's see if there's any boats coming to visit us. I'm not sure exactly when those show up or how to predict them showing up. But let's take a look at the menus, shall we? We have a way to get how many we want to store at the trading post so that we can use them in order to trade with. Does that make sense? So I can up this count. They'll start taking the materials to the trading post to store them in the yard. And then when a boat comes, we can use those materials that are already stored here to trade with. It's cool that they don't exist magically in the air. They actually have to take the materials to the trading post. So I'm thinking we can trade in medicine because we have so much excess, or it seems like so much right now. So let's up the count of herbs. So I'm going to keep saying it like that just because it's annoying. And we're going to take 100 to the trading post to store. That's probably not many, but it's all we've really got for right now. We can also take some of our tools now that we have 70 stored tools. So let's take, I don't know, 60 iron tools there? Is that too many to want to store here? I'm not sure. So I guess a good way to trade is to take the trading post menu, pin it, and you can put it over here. And then you can go look at the storage barn and pin this too if you want to. And that way you can kind of compare and contrast the two. So for example, we can see that we have, what do we have a bunch of? 85 mushrooms, 936 fish. So we can trade a bunch of fish. If we want to take like 100 fish over to the trading post, we can do so. Since we're making an excess of stored food now, we've got over 1,000 again, which is amazing. Let's take 300 fish to the trading post. So that's what we're going to start with. You can see them actually wheelbarrowing the supplies over to the trading post, which is pretty cool. We can close these menus now and just admire the glory of Boulderline as it expands further and further as we move into trading. And I want to thank you guys very much for watching this video. If you're enjoying Banished and you want to see more videos like it in the future, please show me your support by leaving a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And for more updates on the status of Banished videos, among others, follow me on Twitter, link to that in the description of this video as well. Thanks for watching. My name is Italics, and I will see you next time.